Dave Revson, Gerry DiNardo, Howard Griffith in Lincoln, Nebraska. First time we have broadcast from here, which is certainly a lot of fun for us. A neat new component, obviously, to the Big Ten, having the Huskers as a part of it. We had a chance to watch them practice. What stood out to you guys?
Fast, strong, they can really run. But it was the sixth practice in a row. I don't think we caught them at their best. I think they're a little tired, but man, they're a good team.
Yeah, there's no question that physically this team is going to compete. There's no question. So I'm excited to see once they get into conference play just how good it's going to be, because there are going to be some exciting matchups.
Let's get into some of the specifics. Offensively, been a lot of talk, a lot of speculation about Tim Beck's offense. What did you guys see?
It's going to be downhill. It's going to be physical. I'll be surprised if anybody can stop them on 1st and 10 with 7 in the box. They're going to have to add someone to the box to stop them. And I think that's where the challenge is going to be for Nebraska. Will they be able to throw the ball over the defensive head when the 8th man comes to the box?
Well, as in it's going to be a challenge for them, yes, but it's also going to be a challenge for that defense, because I think now all of a sudden you could end up with some one-on-one matchups, and they have some wide receivers that can take it to the house, very talented, tall wide receivers. So if Martinez can hit these guys down the seam, they could be in for some big plays out of the passing game.
The one thing that you mentioned was that you thought maybe there'd be some issues if they do get to 3rd and long. Again, that's going to be easier said than done. But how concerned are you about the passing game?
I'm pretty concerned. I mean, just 2 practices. I think that if someone can stop the run, they're gonna be in tough shape to convert on 3rd long if somebody can get them on 3rd long. And on 1st and 10, at some point you have to throw some play action. I think they're a long way from being ready to do that.
Well, and that's okay, because I think they have a strong enough defense where it isn't a reason for concern that will allow that offense, particularly that passing game, to continue to develop in the non-conference schedule. Because when you look at these guys defensively, when you look at the defensive line, the amount of defensive linemen, the depth that they're going to be able to roll out there, fresh guys, it's going to be tough if you end up in a situation from an offensive standpoint when it's 2nd and long and 3rd and long situations playing this team.
Yeah, and again, when I say I'm concerned, I mean on a championship level. I mean competing for the Legends, competing for the championship of the Big Ten, and competing for the national championship. I'm not saying they're going to have difficulty in a lot of games, but what happens to teams that run this type of offense, and I love this type of offense, is that if someone does stop the run in the big game, sometimes it's hard to move the chains without a better pass game.
And you talk about that. I mean, last year, case in point, they were 10-0 when they ran for 145 yards or more. They were 0-4 when they didn't. So when they couldn't get that running game going, you could stop them. Again, easier said than done. The defense, you touched on it, Howard. I know you guys were really impressed with the depth, with the speed. Any concerns anywhere defensively?
I think linebacker, I think they've got the talent there. I think they have to develop the talent. I think the non-conference schedule really will help them develop depth at linebacker. To me, and again, it's all relative. It doesn't mean that they're not any good at linebacker.
Right.
I just think they're not as good as they are somewhere else. I think that's the challenge.
But again, I think that's a luxury that they have. They have some talented young players that are going to have to step up and make plays. But at the end of the day, I think when you have the caliber of players that they have here, and we've been doing this is our 5th year. I mean, this group that they have here is as talented a group as we've ever seen. At least I'm confident in saying that. So I think that they're going to have their time to develop. When you talk about that non-conference schedule, that's where they're going to have that chance to really get those reps and get comfortable with who they are to get ready for some of those big games that they're going to have.
As we know, there are a lot of big games on that schedule as well. Obviously, they play everyone in the Legends. Then you look at going across to the leaders. They play Ohio State. They play Penn State. They play Wisconsin. A lot of challenges for the Huskers this year, but this is a team that looks like they might just be up
they're up
to
for
those
it.
challenges.